welcome back to the Craft Workshop podcast, episode 3. My name is Dawn. I'm actually from Manchester in the UK and I currently live in the Netherlands, just outside of Amsterdam. And my podcast is coming to you from my workshop, hence the name Craft Workshop Podcast, which is based in my local art centre in a place called Aalsmeer. I'm very lucky in that I share the space with a lot of creative people who do all kind of activities, is artists, ceramics, you know, you name it, there's pretty much everybody's here. So that's where I'm coming from today. If you have Instagram, you can find me with Dawn's Days. I'll put the name below. And also if you use Facebook, I also host really nice small community Facebook group called Crafty World 1, number 1. You're welcome to join that and share what you've been working on with other crafty people. So it's been a while since episode 2. I've had some personal stuff going on. If you watch the vlog, you'll be all aware of that. If not, if you're interested in vlogs, I'll put a link to the vlog series somewhere on the screen and you can go and have a nosy at what I get up to with my Dutch life in Holland. Okay, so I haven't really done so much in terms of crafting because of what's been going on at home just now. I have made a little list, I've got some notes, so I can just walk you through a few things. Might be a short podcast, although many of you will know I do like to waffle, so it could go on for a bit longer. So I've got some crochet to share with you. I've got a bit of a dyeing, yarny kind of thing to show you. I've got some chalk paint stuff, and I have a new gadget to show you. So let's begin. If you are on Instagram or you are familiar with the podcast, you'll know that myself and Jeanette from Crafty Claire Creations are hosting a Mae Klong on Instagram. The hashtag's here, Yarnbird Mal 2020, and we've decided to extend the Mal until the end of July because Jeanette's also got some stuff going on at the moment and it's just too busy. It was running until the end of June, so we've extended that. So along with the bird theme, I did actually make another bird for my collection. So this is Barry the Seagull, which I've named after my dad because I was in the middle of making him. This isn't strictly a pattern. I followed the pattern by a lady called Irene Strange. I've mentioned her before on the podcast. Also made other birds from her pattern, and it's called Garden Bird Buddies. So all I've done is I've followed the bodies the same, I've extended the head. This is from the blue tip, I think. I've changed the design for wings and I've added little legs, just single crochet feet, and I've put some little knots for his legs, and excuse the pun, I just winged it with the beak, and I've done a little bit of embroidery on his eyes. So this is Barry the Seagull, which I really enjoyed making. This was a stash buster. I've done him in DK, I think it was, acrylic, and then his beak and feet are from cotton, a really heavy cotton, and I don't remember. These are bought, the acrylic are bought in Holland. I think they're just a commercial brand. I don't even remember where I bought them from. The beaks and the feet, I actually bought this from a beautiful craft shop in I want to say Maryland, I think. I'd literally just arrived off the plane and the people who picked me up from the airport whisked me off to a yarn shop. They were trying to keep me awake because of jet lag. I was on a work business trip, but did some nice personal stuff as well, friends, and this is what I bought from there. So I've no idea who made it. It's clearly, it was an indie dye. It was beautiful cotton skein, and so anyway, I've got a bit left. So that's Barry the Seagull, and I think I've actually tagged him with the Mae Klong. So if you're on Instagram, you can see a picture of him on there. The second thing I have been busy with is in episode 2 of the podcast, I shared with you the JC butterfly shawl that I have been making. I'm following a YouTube tutorial from the designer, but she does have patterns, I think, on Ravelry and on her own website. She's called Wilma Westenberg, a Dutch lady. And I struggled a little bit with the pattern at the beginning, but you know, now I've got into it, I don't even follow the pattern. It's sort of imprinted in my brain. What happened was I struggled a little bit with the pattern, and I obviously wasn't paying too much attention at the beginning. So when I got sort of part way through, I thought, well, I don't like the beginning of it. Then I realised I'd actually missed an entire row, and there is a very, very clear back and front of the pattern. So I'm going to show you now so you know what I mean. So I ended up, since the last podcast, I frogged everything and I was so cross, but I'm really happy I did that now. It was worth it, and it's working up a dream. I'm so much more happier with that. So, and I really, really love this pattern. I'm definitely going to make more of this. So I'll show you, hopefully you can see it. I'll show you, this is the shawl so far, and it's called the butterfly shawl because you can see these lacy bits actually do look like a butterfly. And I'm not sure if I'm done with this yet. I might keep going, so I want it to be quite big. I also want to wear it as a wraparound scarf in the winter as well. And I've gone for these really lovely summery spring happy colours. So obviously I'm going to link to everything in the description box below, so if you want to make the butterfly shawl yourself, you can go ahead and do that. I'll talk about the yarns. So the first yarn is, this is by a Dutch indie dyer, Iris, from the Dutch Yarn Barn, and this is from her Zwerfsock range. So I originally bought this because I wanted to learn how to knit socks this year, and as of filming we're at the end of June and I've still not been successful, but yeah, I've got the rest of the year to try and master that. And it's in the colour Narcissus, so like yeah, daffodil colour. It's beautiful, and if I remember, I haven't got the ball band with me, it's actually at home. If I remember correctly, this is a mix of merino, bamboo and cotton, and yeah, the colour's absolutely beautiful, and it was just sat there in my craft room at home, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to make something else with it. So I started off with this beautiful yellow colour, and then you're also probably aware that I follow amongst many other crafty people, crochet knitters and podcasters. One of my favourites is Ellie from the Craft House Magic, and I've been itching to buy some yarns from Ellie for a while, so I ordered some, and that's what this sort of row of pastel colours are. And if you might be able to see this, hopefully the camera is going to pick it up. This is actually this is from her mini skein set number 4, and I've not used the entire skein set. I think I've probably used 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, so I've got a couple more to go. And this is actually merino and nylon and stellina, so that's why it's got this glittery finish to it. And then clearly the mini skein set, although there was a lot in it, there wasn't going to be enough to do the length of shawl that I wanted to, so I decided to have a go at dyeing my own yarn. And I ran an Instagram poll to ask if I should mix my hand-dyed yarn in with the rest of the shawl, and I think I got like 89 or 90% votes yes, so that's what I did. And I think, let's try and get a better shot of it, I'll move back a little bit. I think you'll agree it's a good colour combination. So I haven't got much of that left. Oh, sorry, just kicked the table. Ow, my knee. I haven't got much of this left. And I only made one because I was experimenting, but I really, really love this. Aside from the fact that I've dyed it myself, and I've never dyed yarn in my life, the closest I've got to dyeing anything is, you know, one of these things you throw in the wash machine and hope for the best. So yeah, this is going to be a new passion of mine, I think, because it was such good fun. So I'm going to finish that, and then I need to decide on if I want to make try and attempt to do a similar colourway, or I do have a second skein that I dyed. So I'm thinking I could also incorporate that. You know, I think it might go nicely with it. So I'm having a little think about that one. If you want to see the dyeing process, it's not a tutorial, I'll just warn you now, that's my disclaimer. I'll put a link somewhere and you can watch me having a go at that. As I said, it was really, really good fun. This is, so as I said, the yellow from Iris is merino bamboo nylon. Ellie's number 4 skein set is merino nylon and stellina, and then the ones that I've dyed myself are merino nylon, so they all pretty much work well together. They're all like a sock weight or fingering yarn. So this one, I wanted some of the, you know, the natural yarn to show through, so I have got a few sort of white patches running through, which I was really happy about. And then I've got, you know, like nice turquoise, greens, limes, mints, blue shades running through that. So and it's really nice yarn. It's very, very soft and it works up beautifully. So yeah, I'm going to have a think about that. I haven't got as yet a yarn winder, so I think I'm going to have to invest in that at some point, because poor Lawrence, who's my partner, he has helped me wind every single one of these skeins, and yeah, I think he's a bit bored of it now, so I think that might be the last one he'll wind for me, and then I really have to buy a yarn ball winder. Okay. Oh, what I have brought to show you is, if you're interested in having a go yourself, if you watch the vlog where I dyed the yarn, I used the microwave method. It was super, super simple. The dyes that I have bought online, these acid dyes, so you do have to wear a mask with them, and they come in, they're a little bit like a mica powder, I think. So these are what they come like. You get a very generous amount, and as I did learn quite quickly, you need the tiniest amount. I think I was a bit heavy-handed with them because, you know, it was my first attempt. There was some paperwork with it to tell you weights of different shades that you wanted, and then the company I bought them from did email me a separate document with lots and lots of different colorways that you can make yourself. So now I've done them too, I will definitely make some more. So just if you're interested, I'll put a link to where I bought them from. It's a set. So need glasses for this so we can see. So you get like 2 sort of shades of blue. This is ultramarine and turquoise. So they do look quite dark in the pot, but they're the turquoise is very, very vibrant. Then you get 2 of these sort of reddish pinky shades. So there's magenta, sorry, it's upside down, magenta and scarlet. The scarlet, I thought it was a little bit more like a cherry red. Still beautiful colours. And then on the sort of yellowy orange scale, you get lemon and this golden yellow. So there doesn't seem to be much variation in the pot, but there it is. The golden yellow has got more like an orange tone. And then if you've ever dyed yarn before, you know that most dyers use white vinegar as a fixer. But this came with this ammonium sulfate as the fixer, and it worked very well. I didn't even wait, to be honest with you. I just plopped a load in the a pan of water and let the natural skeins soak for an hour, and they worked amazingly well. If you do watch that video, you'll see that I had no waste dye from either of the skeins when I washed them. So yeah, that's what else I've been up to. Still on the yarn crochet front, I have been quite busy making these lovely, really super cute little cardigans. These are YouTube tutorials I followed from Woolly Wonders Crochet, who's amazing. She does beautiful tutorials. And this is her easy lace baby cardigan. I have made a few of these before. So I've finished this, I need to block it, and then I need to put like a little button on it. So I've made this nice dusky pink colour, and then I've made it in this nice like brown oatmeal colour. And unfortunately, if you know me well enough by now, you'll know that I've lost the yarn sleeve. So I can't tell you the colours, but they're from a company called Elise, and it is the Elise Cotton Gold, which I love. It's I think they're like a nylon or an acrylic and a cotton blend. Beautiful, work up very, very softly. So I've been busy making these little cardigans. What you might see behind me is some stock, because I really, really want to get my Etsy store up and running, but I will update you later on that. There's also another reason why I want to get busy making things. You might see my little otter friend that I made. I think I talked about him on episode 1 or 2, and definitely on my Instagram. He's from the Pika Pal crochet book, amigurumi, and I will definitely be making more of them. As I said, I've just had a lot of sort of personal life stuff going on at the moment, so once everything's a bit sort of stable again, I'm going to pick up the book, because I did actually buy a lot of Scapier's cotton Katona to make up some more of them. Okay, that's the crochet stuff. Okay, we can move on to a bit of painting things. So okay, these are really, really cute. Because of the baby cardigans, I did need some little hangers. So these actually, I have got 3 of them. These were actually from my children's baby wardrobe, and they were like a really, really bright blue. And I'll just show you how cute they look on with the cardigan on them. Obviously they've got to be blocked, as I just mentioned, but they're very sweet. And what I did with these, you've probably seen me do decoupage before on my vlogs, but I just painted them in this pale pink chalk paint. And these are actually lilac and lavender napkins, which I just chopped around, and then with decoupage paint, or you can use Mod Podge, I just glued them on and then gave it all another good coat, so they're nice and smooth. And yeah, I'm going to use these as displays for in the workshop. So that's the first sort of tiny paint project I've been working on. I'm definitely going to make more of these because I'm absolutely thrilled with them. Unfortunately, I threw a load of these away when the children sort of went up into, you know, next bedroom stage. So I'm going to have to keep an eye at like thrift stores and stuff for wooden baby hangers. And if any of my friends are watching out there and you've got some you want to get rid of, pass them to me. Okay, the next paint thing I was working on, which I've almost finished, is, sorry, I have to drag this over, it's quite heavy. If you watched episode 2, I talked about an antique mirror that I picked up from like a thrift store, which somebody had unfortunately already ruined. But as a result, I had no qualms about slapping a load of paint on this and just seeing where it took me. So I talked about a technique called wet distressing. So maybe you want to pause this and take a look at what it did look like, or I'll see if I can stick a picture in of the beginning of the process, because quite a few people were horrified when they saw it. So I finished the painting on this. The only thing I've got some paper to put in it. So here is the finish. You can see the workshop there. Here is the finished item, which I absolutely love. There's you guys. I was thinking of selling this, but sorry, there's a plane going over. Lockdown has started to ease off in the Netherlands, so the planes are busy the airport today. I was thinking of selling this from the workshop, but I actually really, really like it, so I'm going to keep hold of this one. And if I see another one, I can do that. This is, if you're interested in chalk paint, I actually painted this in my local DIY store's own chalk paint brand. It's called Wood and Wall. And I had this mixed up and it looks a little bit different, but the cabinet, the hutch behind me, is actually the same paint. I had a little bit left over, and you can see how different it looks. So first of all, for the wet distressing, I put a layer of red and yellow underneath it, and then I painted the this turquoisey green colour over the top, and then when it had all dried, then with a wet rag or cloth, or even a sock is also good, I just rubbed everything back to expose the yellow and the red, which it's very subtle, you can't see it too well. Maybe on this corner here, I'll just move my face out of the way so it focuses on that. So in real life, you can you just catch glimpses of it. I wanted it to be like a distressed look, not, you know, very, very obvious. And then when everything had, so I'd rub it all back, I was happy with it, then it all dried, then I did Annie Sloan clear soft wax all over the top, a very, very generous amount. When that had dried, I then went over with the thinnest of thin coats of Annie Sloan soft dark wax, not the black, the dark wax, just to make it darker, so you can see the difference between, you know, the blues. And then when that had dried, then I went over it all with this gilding wax. This is by Treasure Gold, and I was very, very generous with that. So the reason that it's not quite finished is I want to just, if you look inside, if I can, it is quite heavy, the inside, it's got these beautiful hangers, and I've got some lovely patterned paper that I want to cover the back of the drawer in, and I think this might have been like a hairbrush set or something, you know, with it having these hooks, and then you know, the mirror. So yeah, thought I'd share that with you if you haven't seen it before. Super, super happy with that. So that's all the painting things I've been doing. Nothing on the knitting front. To be honest with you, my concentration has not been great for knitting. I have got one gadget to show you, but I'll have to pause the video because it is heavy. Bear with me. So I need to stand back for this, but ta-da! This is let's see. This is a second sewing machine that Lawrence treated me to just for the workshop. As you can see, it's a Singer Brilliance, and one of the main reasons I chose this model is it has this table extension on it. It's got a really good range of stitching on there, and it came with a nice selection of feet. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I haven't really played with it properly myself yet. So at my house, in the spare bedroom, I do have my own craft room, which is very, very crowded. And there I have very expensive Husqvarna Viking 750, I think it is, a Platinum Plus that Lawrence bought me many years ago as a gift. And I've recently had that serviced, and decided I don't want to keep moving that up and down between the home and the workshop. Even as the crow flies, it is very, very close, but I just don't want to be moving it around. And I do have an overlocker at the house as well. So I've been saying, yeah, I would really like a spare sewing machine. So I have a spare sewing machine now. So I haven't literally just played with it a little bit. I need to sit and watch, there's some YouTube tutorials and videos about things on there. I think I'm not threading it right, because I've noticed I was sewing for a while and it was sewing like a dream, then all of a sudden everything sort of gnarled up. So I need to figure out what that is. But you know, as is mentioned, I'm not going to keep going on about it. I've had a lot of sort of personal stuff and I've not been feeling very crafty, to be honest with you. So anyway, that's my new toy. Very happy with that. Quite spoiled. What else have I got to tell you? Oh, so I did mention the Mae Klong. So as I said, if you do want to enter, the rules are, I mean, you can go to the Instagram of Jeanette or on my page, my account, and the rules are very clear on there. They're very simple. Or you don't have to follow us, or, you know, it's none of this follow and share, you know, it's only for fun. The rule is it has to be a bird, any kind of bird, we've had some cracking entries already. Just even if you don't want to enter, or you don't, you know, you're not particularly interested in yarn crafts, just go and have a look at them. They're so nice. There's cute ones, funny ones, really inventive ones. We've had penguins, we've had owls, we've had seagulls, you know, you name it, they're coming in thick and fast now. So it was running until the end of June, and we're running it till the end of July now. So the only rule is you make any kind of bird you like. If you want to make a little house or a nest or a cage or a perch or anything for it, you're more than welcome to, but you don't have to. Just have fun with it. And the only rule is it has to be made from yarn. So crochet, knitted, pom-pom, you know, you name it, as long as it's made from yarn and it's a bird, and you can enter as many as you like. And yeah, just have fun with it. And there will be 2 prizes awarded. We did initially say for the best effort, but to be honest with you, every entry so far has just been amazing. So I think we'll probably do like a prize draw, you know, and just make it super, super fair, because, you know, you guys have just blown us away, you know. It's just, and right now at the moment where we've, you know, we've both been dealing with difficult stuff, it's just been a nice welcome distraction. So if you do want to join along, you've got another month, so get knitting or hooking or pom-pomming or whatever you want to do and join in. Really good fun. Finally, I did mention last time that, and I think I did show you some bags I've been working on. I did want to restock my Etsy shop, but unfortunately I haven't done that. And our trip to the UK is imminent for me, so I've decided I won't be doing a stock update until I've been to the UK and returned, and I'm feeling a little bit more sort of calmer in my days. But as you can see behind me, this is some of the stock. There is a very, very small amount of passing trade coming by my workshop. So some of my neighbours kindly grabbed one of these sort of ladder displays for me. Somebody was throwing 2 away and they grabbed one for themselves and one for me, which was very sweet. And I thought, well, I'll just put my stock on there, and then when I'm in the workshop I can just pick the whole sort of, it's like a ladder system, and plonk it outside the window, and, you know, then I can sort of, anybody wants to take a look, and if not, it goes in the Etsy shop. So if I do an update when I come back from the UK, I'll probably announce it in one of the vlogs, and of course on my Instagram, and yeah, any other channels I'm going to mention it on. And I think that stock will probably be the zipper pouches and the drawstring bags. I have got a couple of padded ones and a couple of unpadded, but everything's lined. So anyway, watch this space, there will be an update. And I think that's everything I have to say. Yeah, I've been meaning to do a podcast for a good few weeks, because I did set a rule for myself that I wanted to do one every 2 weeks, and clearly that didn't happen. And today I was working at home, you know, still locked down, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a podcast, even if it's just 5 minutes. And then I sat down and I made a list of things I've done between, you know, now and then and now, and I surprised myself how much I had done actually. So I'm really glad I cycled in the wind to the workshop and shown you everything, and I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, the podcast is purely for me to just show you all the crafty stuff I've been working on. If you've got any tips, tricks, or you just like things, mention them below. Love reading your comments. And if you want to see what I get up to in my daily life in the Netherlands, sometimes featuring a child, children, pets, a man, friends, come and join me. Love to hear from you. Don't forget, if you hit the notification bell, which should be next to the subscription bar or button, then you'll get a notification every time I upload a new video. Thanks again for joining me. I'll see you in the next podcast. Bye.